And I pick him a lot, but also lots of other people do too. So I don't feel like I'm standing out on a limb with that. At
Right.
some point, he just feels like the guy that's going to break through.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Best Ball Roundtable. A roundtable of two people here.
Definitely more like ping pong table.
It is a ping pong table. We're sitting at the other, either end, or maybe like the long dinner table where, we're in like a big fancy European house and like,
Right. I'll be like, can you pass the pepper? And then someone's got to walk 15 feet to get to it.
that's perfect. But, ping pong, I like that too, because we'll just kind of toss it back and forth and see how we do with this thing. So it's Open Championship week. Are you excited about it? I know you got a lot going on. You got football practice as a coach, not that you're playing. You have football practice that started up today. We're recording on Monday. So with all that going on, are you excited about the Open?
So I am, but from this perspective, one, this is coffee golf, right? Everyone talks about how this is coffee golf. And so it's not like it interferes. I'm not missing the last, shades of daylight by going to football practice instead. I am also a huge Tour de France fan. I have been up every morning by 6 a.m. for the last week. Today was a rest day. So by next weekend, I think they're going to be in the mountain stages, which usually puts them a little bit earlier, probably 4 or 5 a.m. So for me, it's one of the best times in golf and sports for me, because now I'll be able to get up on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I think I did this last year. I'll either have a tablet or a TV. Probably the tablet will have the golf and the TV will have the Tour de France. And I'll listen to Bob Roll commentating on skinny men riding up mountains while also paying attention to what's going on in the golf world. So I enjoy the Open just from that perspective, and everyone has an accent, so it makes it just that much more enjoyable. It seems smart, like smart golf.
Yeah. Would you, if the Tour de France was not happening at the same time, would you get up and watch the Open?
No, I mean, I'd probably get up at like 7-ish.
Yeah.
I don't have to be an early riser, so I'm not, but I'm definitely not the.
But
Now, if there's a
the tour has got you
compelling
that's what gets you up.
if there's a compelling story, like I've been up before, I think on a Sunday morning at like the
Well,
4
Sunday
a.m.
morning, the
window.
leaders won't tee off till what, 9:30 or something like that, Eastern time?
Right. But sometimes there's a compelling story where you're like, you know what, I want to see what happens. Or the nice part is, and I don't know if this is just the American viewing of it all, they tend to do a pretty good recap, like on the hour of where everybody's going and doing. And there's obviously tons of highlights. Social media has changed all of this, right? Like you can wake up, I don't know about you, a lot of times I'll start my day with like Twitter posts to see what's actually happened in the sports world. And then you can be like, okay, I'm going to find something that might be a little bit of a longer format to pay attention to what's going on. But yeah, I mean, it's places that fortunately, I mean, we haven't played this particular course, but we have played across the pond now. So there is a little bit more, I think, intriguement to it, just simply because it's like, oh, I've played in conditions that are not like the American courses, and I can sort of feel what that might be like.
I used to be the one that would get up
Oh,
2,
I
3
know.
o'clock in the morning and start watching. And I've
Yeah.
learned my lesson, because as much as I love the golf, the networks have figured out that that's a good time to play as many commercials as
Oh,
possible. And so if you get up to watch it, which I did it too many years in a row where I should have learned a lesson and I didn't. So you start watching and you might get 6 shots there, and then it's
yeah.
back to a commercial. And then
I
you
remember.
come back and it's another 6 shots from like a couple of players, and it's back to commercial. And so it was painfully frustrating. And now it's like, maybe I'll get up like you around 6 o'clock or so. Also trying to work out and do this other stuff. So maybe while working out or whatever, I'll turn it on and see what's happening. But yeah, I'm not getting up in the middle of the night anymore.
I remember.
They've fooled me too many times.
I remember you and Kirsch complaining about that last year. On
Every
the
every year.
roundup, you were like, "We got up,"
Eh,
and he gets up with his kids, like, they make it a
Oh
whole,
yeah.
like, family event, and then, like you said, you've got in a one-hour window, you've got, like, 35 to 40 minutes of commercials, which again, like, at some point, someone has to pay the bill, and then they get to sort of stretch it out whenever it gets closer
I
to
guess, or when you have more
from
of
your
the
TV
East
time.
Coast waking up. So
Right.
Yeah, no, it'll be an exciting championship. You know, they played the Scottish Open this past weekend. Tom Kim, who had dropped to like 100 something in the world, but has playing as of late decent golf and came up and won the Scottish Open for his fourth win. So he's got some momentum heading into the Open. On the other side of that, Scotty Scheffler missed the first cut in like 4 years.
Right.
And so the question is, does he not have momentum, but he's also still Scotty Scheffler? So will he quickly bounce back? I mean, he does have the stat for biggest, the best at bouncing back after a bogey. So if we call the Scottish Open a bogey, will he bounce back with a birdie or a win at the Open Championship?
Well, at some point, it's not quite the Tiger effect, but every time you go and look at the odds of who's going to win, he's always number one.
Oh
And
yeah,
so I don't know if that's because, and again, I don't gamble, so I don't know if that's because that's where the money's going. And so they don't want to put him, like if they put him at second or third odds, would the money flow that direction and put them in a pinch? And he really is that good. It's hard just to remember, like we lived through the Tiger era where it was so dominant. And then but like Scotty is that dominant. I mean, think about it. He hasn't missed a cut. What was it, since 23 or 22? It,
I think it was 4 years.
right. That's insane to think about that much golf. You kind of wonder because they're super competitive. And I don't think that the driving force in any factor at this point is money because he makes more than enough money to buy diapers for his kid. So are you okay missing the cut in a scenario like that? You don't think so? Like, at some
No,
point on
because
Friday
he's
afternoon.
not okay. He's not okay finishing a tie for fourth, like because he wants to win. Like he plays,
Right.
to use Herm Edwards quotes, he plays to win the game, right?
But if
Not
you're,
Herm
like,
Edwards.
sitting on a
Yeah.
Friday on the Scottish Open and you're coming up for the Open Championship, do you be like, "You know what? Whatever, I'm fine. You know what? I'm gonna take a day to decompress. I'm gonna hit the practice rounds early. I'm gonna really focus on next week." Or do you think he's
No,
stewing over it?
I think he does all that. I don't think he takes a day to decompress. I think he's grinding because the Scottish Open is now one of like the bigger tournaments out there
Right.
that these players want to win. So
Right.
I think he's grinding and will come out swinging and play pretty well. So we'll see. Royal
We'll see.
Birkdale. What do you know about the course?
I know that it hasn't rained. I know that the thick grass in the rough is not one of those like US Opens where they cut it to 4 inches or 6 inches instead of four. You get lost in the weeds, you are literally lost in the weeds. I think this week could be the the unsung heroes could be the spotters, right? Because
That's
there's going to
true.
be misses. It's a tight track, and so like just trying to find a ball. I wonder how many people will be warned on time because they're literally trying to find their ball on like the terrible grass blowing in the wind.
I don't know how many will be warned on that, but I do feel like now might be a good time to give a shout out to our friends Brandon and Tig and Jeb and
Oh,
Trip
they're
and their
they're there.
spouses who are over in the UK somewhere right now. They've done Wimbledon. I think they've already done their Wimbledon day. I know that they played somewhere with uh, our friend Nick that I met, who's Matt Gibson's good friend. But yeah, they're going to go to one of the days of the Open Championship. So been quite a trip
That's
for them.
cool.
They're playing golf. They might even be up at St. Andrews right now. So yeah, if you are guys and you happen to listen to this while you're drinking your coffee in the morning, shoot me a text or something and let us know how it's going. But anyway, pretty cool trip, pretty cool experience what they get to do.
Yep.
And they can give us a recap after the fact on what the course is like. But yeah, course is near I'd say near Liverpool, Manchester area, and kind of the northwest of England. Yeah, and reports from what I've seen is they're saying it's starting to brown out early. Right,
Right.
normally it's maybe the weekend where you start to see that, but yeah, it's going to be fast. I think that's what you and I love when we got to play links golf last year was
Right.
watching that ball bounce and just run. Right,
Right.
it kind of reminds us of when we went and played Old Dane. Right, that last the last day there when
Let's
everything was brown, you hit
let's
it
hope
and it
it's
just
not
keeps
bad brown.
bouncing. and rolling forever. Yeah, it won't be that brown, but
Like your 160 shots have to be 130 shots in order to not lose the green.
yeah. Yep. No, it'll be good. Did you pay attention at all to the last chance qualifier? You familiar with what they did there?
I did. I saw the guy he won like Sunday night, wasn't it?
It was Monday.
Golly.
They basically had a Monday queue, like a Monday
Right.
qualifier for a major, which is awesome.
I I saw the interview of the guy and you kind of want to hope, well, maybe like if you were going to pick an amateur dark horse and it's like, never mind. Like he's definitely happy to be there. Do you think someone like that makes the cuts? I mean, talk about that being a story. If you could make the cut after just qualifying on Monday,
I mean, that would he could, right? I mean, at this point, he's riding high. He's got to put
right,
2 days better than half the field, which is possible, right? Because he might get in what a lot of people say would be a lucky draw, right, or
right,
the better draw. So he might do that. He might be riding high with confidence because obviously his game's in good form.
right.
And in a 4 day stretch, it's not going to drop off that much. 3 day stretch. So
Not like
yeah,
us.
I think he's. What's that?
Not like us. We could go on a 4-day golf trip
No,
and have 4 different golf games every day.
every day, every couple holes, it's
Right,
complete. And I was just sharing with you prior to, I had a one of those psycho scorecards where it was front
right,
nine disaster, back nine, some of the best golf I've played.
right.
No, that would be one of the cool
That'd be a great
storylines. So
story.
yeah, so I want to ask this then: what would be the top story of the week? Would it be something like that, or would it be, hometown Tommy Fleetwood winning a major? What
Well, I
what
mean,
would be a good
obviously,
storyline for you?
if Tommy's in the mix, that would be great, but the commentary that I've read is that they don't think that his game is in a place to be consistent enough, like, for fairways hit, things like that. Playing out of the rough is not that strong. The story and this is the fun part about majors, is that because there's enough eyeballs on it, someone always finds the story that you would never know about. The Masters does it so well, right? Where because they have so much TV time, they don't have the commercials. There's always some sort of backstory that you get to hear about a person and find out that their grandpa played and such, like those types of things. And so, I watching an amateur, I pull for anybody that's out there that just making the cut at that level is so impressive. And so you find a guy like this, like you said, he's riding high. Maybe the reality doesn't have enough time to set in. And again, conditions, as Kirsch always talks about, every major ask a different question. And if the conditions are playing in a way that most people aren't comfortable with from their day to day, you know, target golf, those open up opportunities for people to kind of slide in out of nowhere. And suddenly you've got someone in the top 20. Now, let's not be crazy. There's a reason why, when you look at the chances of people who are going to win, that there's always the same 5 or 6 guys, right? Because they are that good. They're that consistent. But it would be a lot of fun to have the local aspect of it is always a good time, right? What was it a couple
Yeah,
years ago, the Canadian Open, right? You find that guy that what was it, a 70-foot putt or something like that. And
yeah.
those are amazing experiences in your home crowd. And let's be honest, like you're not necessarily as jet lagged. You aren't as uncomfortable with the food. You're not necessarily out of place when it comes to what it feels like. And in this particular space, they're used to playing the links golf. They're used to playing on surfaces that aren't like a golf course down in Florida, if you will.
Uh, no, I mean, I think when you think about Tommy and one, he's a pro golfer. So again, back to our swings would change every day, every few holes. Like he could figure something out. And he's going to have more experience on this course than anybody else, right? Like
Yeah.
if a whole bunch of people went to Forest Hills right now or to Limerick, right? Like you might be able to edge out a few people because you got more experience there than the others. So it'll be interesting to see how Tommy plays and yeah, what the story could be. One storyline I know we'll hear a lot about will be they played here in 2017. Remember who won that one? Jordan Spieth.
Do you think his game is in a place to make that happen again? And here's the other thing too. You just said 2017.
That's a
My
long time
automatic
ago.
thought, "Oh, wow, just like 3 years ago." It's not 3 years ago. That was
Yeah.
9 years ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time,
It
and
is.
what has he done since?
Yeah. Well, he's still only what, like 32, 33, something like that. So
Yeah,
the thing I remember what most about that, and I was watching it, and what everybody else will talk about is when he sprayed that ball way right, and he was like got relief next to the Titleist like
right.
tour truck right there, and like hit it back over the mounds, like just made some ridiculous finish there. So yeah, that could be it. Well, it will be one of the storylines. We'll see how much of a continued storyline it will be. I think it'd be fun. Like I one would love, personally would love to see Jordan Spieth playing well again. I think he is a great person for the game.
Right,
I think he's still young enough. I mean, what, he's 32, 33. Scotty just turned 30. I mean, Rory's the old man here, like at 37 or whatever he
right.
is. So, man, if he could get it back together and start competing more with these guys, that'd be a lot of fun.
Does the redesign come into play, do you think, in terms of how comfortable they are with the course? And because I mean, if you're not like me, I can't remember hardly the last hole I played yesterday. These guys can remember every single moment, place, and time that they were out on a golf course and how the ball reacted and things like that. But there's been a pretty significant redesign. So does that come into play? It's not like this could be fun and no one would ever do it. How fun would it be to have an actual PGA event where no one got to have a practice round? How
Hmm.
good do you think they could play just straight up off of a book without, because like that's how most people play golf, right? You show
Sure.
up somewhere, if you want to or choose to, you grab a book to, to
You
track
do
a
your
wall.
simulated round in Arcos.
Well, yeah, right. Like definitely those types of things. But what if you could go out there and they picked a place and maybe even made it a rule like no even sim work. Literally just we want you guys to go out there. It's kind of, and Bryson does this for some of those like breaking 60, right? Or he'll go out and play a public course and the only thing he gets is the pro riding along with him telling them, "Hey, watch out, there's water down here." But never seeing the course before, what do you think that would look like? And considering this, like they're seeing it sort of for the first time in terms of these practice rounds because of the redesign.
Well, I think it's been long enough, right? Like since it's been since 2017.
Yeah.
They probably
They've
haven't popped over there and
probably
played it
gone out.
much. And so a lot of these people are going to be first timers anyway. Or
Yeah.
when they played it, like Jordan, he was 23 at the time.
Right.
And so all the other ones around that age, like, or, the Rorys and stuff like that were in their early
Yeah.
20s as well. So, yeah, I don't know if that will play as much. I think it would be fun to see an event like you're talking about
That'd be
where
fun.
they don't ever see the course. I think, shout out to our guys at the Proper Golf Society. Like, I think it'd be fun to make them play the Open Championship with persimmons or some throwback clubs or something like that.
The tour should do something like that. I don't think they ever will. I mean, I say never, but at some point, maybe social media, YouTube, and things like that have an influence enough where they create Monday events that do fun stuff like that,
Yeah.
where you pull out, probably not the pros, right? Those guys are going home and everything like that. But you could find, I say not pros, you could find enough or a number of Corn Ferry or something like that where those folks would be willing to come in and say, "Hey, we'll play, you play 2 foursomes or a group of 12 or something like
Oh
that."
man, I want to see the pros play a tournament with them. Like I would love to see
Yeah,
that.
I would love to, but it's not gonna happen.
Well, we say it's not going to happen, right? But they're changing up and going to like a flighted system where there's promotion and relegation and stuff like that. So like, who knows what? I mean, again, they have the Zurich, right? So they play in a team format, like a two person. So like, why not?
Why not do
Why not
something
have
like
one
that?
tournament? And you might get where the max or the highest level pros don't play in the
They
same because
opt
they're
out
like,
that
no, I'm
week.
not going to waste my time. But
Right,
there would still be pro golfers because if there's $1 million on the line, like
right.
these guys that say, hey, I win this persimmon event, I can go on and play on the tour for a couple more years or in that higher bracket or whatever. So anyway, different discussion for a different day. Shout out again to our buddies at the Proper Golf Society. We will
I'm
be
wearing
playing.
your
Yeah,
shirt.
you got the thwack shirt on.
I
We'll
do.
be playing in the the 90s Compression Classic. By the way, have you found clubs yet?
I have not. I got to start looking.
You need to start looking. I am going to borrow my buddy's like Titleist irons. They're like from 92 or something like that. So
I need
yeah,
the contact information for the Golf Roots guy. I need to reach out to him.
yeah. Well, you can
I
find
think
it.
he's going to be my
He's
best
pretty
bet.
well known.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you also
Benjamin.
have his direct email, so
All right, I'll get you that. I'll get you that. All right, we talked about alarm time and what we're going to do there. Let's go ahead and jump into some predictions, what we think might happen. So we'll kind of use the same 5 categories,
oh no,
right? Oh no,
that's going to put me at
that,
a disadvantage.
no, you'll be fine. We'll walk through this thing. And if you go to the open.com/field, like
Yeah,
you can
I'm
click
there.
on champions and see who's there. So I want to know who your past champion you think will do well this week. And if you want me to start, I will. I'll go Shane Lowry as my past champion.
Shane, I'm I'm gonna go with the easy pick because I was gonna be mine for definitely most of it, Scotty. Like, if there's gonna be a guy, I could see him going back to back. You like you said, the bounce back aspect. What happens if he gets frustrated and really dials in? Can he make that work since he just missed the cut? Is that a factor of, hey, I want to regain my dominance and show everybody I am still good at golf, even though I haven't won much this year?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Who would be your U.S. player? And let's pick somebody different. So don't say Scotty for
Right.
everything.
You go ahead and pick yours. Let me find
Yeah, I'm going Xander Schauffele.
Xander.
I think he's what, like the number 3 player in the world, somewhere in that top 5. I don't know where it is exactly, but I think he will do it or play well, I should say.
I'm looking at this other screen here. So actually, nope, that wasn't it. Okay, yeah, this was a guy I was actually looking at to pick for other options. Colin Morikawa.
Okay, I like
I
that.
think he, I think he has a chance to be in. He's obviously rated well. From the odds maker, he's up there in I think top 5 or 6, something like that. They the commentary I've been watching says that he has an opportunity just because of his accuracy to really have a big play on it.
Yeah, I agree with that. And one thing I thought of earlier and didn't mention that I love about links golf is, again, with playing on the ground as much as you do, and we talked about this before, like you can hit good shots and get the wrong bounce and be penalized. You can hit bad shots and catch a good bounce or a good slope and somehow catch a lucky break. So that is always fun to watch when watching the Open. So, all right, next category, international player.
Uh, I am going to go with Tommy on this one. And I
Okay.
understand that there's parts of his game that doesn't fit necessarily what could happen, but and I pick him a lot, but also lots of other people do too. So I don't feel like I'm standing out on a limb with that. At
Right.
some point, he just feels like the guy that's going to break through. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be really interesting to see what happens if he gets that sort of monkey off his back. What does that
And
look
there
like for the
there is
rest of
history of the hometown kid winning the Open Championship, because
right?
you look back at Shane Lowry winning when it was at Portrush back in Northern Ireland a few years back. So my international player, I am going, and I looked it up. This is the number 3 golfer in the world, Matt Fitzpatrick.
Fitz magic.
Matt Fitzpatrick, Mr.
Yeah.
Arcos data guy himself. All right, next category, first time major winner. I'll jump in and go first on this. I had thought about going with Tommy just because I really wanted to throw him in there somewhere, but I'm going to go somebody that won the Scottish Open last year and played well this year, just didn't finish it off. But I think he could win. He's obviously proved he can win in the UK. Chris Goddard. He's one of the top winners on the tour right now.
I'm going to throw this name out, and I'm fairly confident he hasn't won a major yet. Ludwig, your buddy Oberg.
Oberg. He has not.
Yeah. I'm
He's
surprised you
come
didn't pick him.
close. He's come
Last year,
close.
you picked him for almost everything. You were hot on Oberg.
Well, he came in second at the Masters,
Oh, I know. He's a good golfer, as it turns out.
dominated at the Ryder Cup. Like, I mean, hey, yeah,
Yeah,
it's like picking Scotty. It's a fairly safe bet because
it is.
to have a swing like that, like, is pretty hit repeat, and it's gonna work. So yeah, all right, wild card pick. Anybody you want to pick, maybe you want to pick the Monday qualifying guy, Joe, what's his name?
No. Is it Joe Dean? That's his
Joe
last name,
Dean.
isn't it?
Yeah, that is him.
Here's something interesting. He doesn't have the worst odds. No. I'm gonna pick a guy completely out of right field, Billy Horschel.
Wow. Okay.
He's got I wouldn't call him middle of the pack odds, but you definitely wouldn't want to put money on
Oh,
it. If you did and he won, you'd have
it
yourself a
doesn't have
good
to
day.
be a long shot, but
Yeah, I
that is
mean,
definitely a
but
wild card.
that's a wild card. Yeah.
Okay.
Who do you got?
My wild card is I'm going with a relative of one of my earlier picks. I'm going with Alex Fitzpatrick,
Okay.
Matt's brother.
Yeah. The two of them got in. What was it? A couple weeks ago, they got in to play together.
Oh,
Was that at
over
the
there?
Open here?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with what you're talking about.
There was a storyline where one of the brothers got in at the last minute.
I don't know. I mean, Alex has been playing well.
Here's another one. What do you think about this? Does Jason Day play well?
That'd be awesome.
He's such a character. Like he's
Rocking the painter golf shoes and the Malbon stuff, and
a Voda Golf. He just got the new clubs from them, right? Would they stop him from wearing some of his Malvin clothes like the
no,
Masters does? You
no.
think they'd be like, that's inappropriate, son. Don't get to do that.
I mean, I don't think anyone at Royal Birkdale would say anything. No. How does Rory do? We got through another one of these things and we hadn't said Rory.
Well, that's because we're missing. This is just ping pong. If we had a real round table, someone would have picked Rory like 5 times.
I don't know. I, th- I, you know, if I had another wild card, like I really think he could win the thing. Like I think he's, even even though what was his
Right?
quote the other day? He hit that shot. He's like, I'm so
I'm
bad at
such a
golf. Or,
bad golfer.
yeah,
They tried to pin him on that. He's like, what do you want on that shot? I was, yeah.
no,
He's one of us. Rory, you're such a bad golfer.
it did not hook far enough to be one of us, Rory.
Yeah, he definitely still missed that within like an opportunity to still get up and down. You know,
Yeah,
he's second for bets like for
yeah.
FanDuel, not sponsored by FanDuel, but you know it does go back to, and it's hard to remember how good these guys are at the top. There's because every time you think about it, it's someone versus the field. If you put Rory versus the field, it feels like almost a coin flip sometimes. And Scotty versus the field.
Scotty's in that field though.
Well, I know, but that's the thing though. Like
Well,
Scotty
there's a
versus the
question.
field.
There's a question. If you had a Scotty versus the field or a Rory versus the field, would you take one of those over the other, knowing that the other person would be in the each other's field?
I don't. You know that I think they're that good against each other. They play different. It feels like their personalities are completely different. Although there have been some moments recently where Scotty seems to be a little bit more animated, but he's not smashing tee boxes yet. So
Well, Rory's not doing that either.
he did it once. He did it earlier this year where he like hit a tee box. He ended up getting fined for it. I That's tough. Like those are the ones though where you say, what would you? I think it's more along the lines of what would you skip if the two of them were in the final pairing? Like what would you want to make sure to watch? Would you
Yeah,
skip church on Sunday if Scotty and Rory are teeing off at 9 o'clock? You have an early service option,
go
so
the
maybe
early service,
I was
man.
gonna say you go to
Go
the
the
early.
early service. Like for me, one of the reasons I love the Open is I can go to the early service Sunday school, come
Right.
home, and watch golf, and then have the afternoon, maybe even catch a little nap before heading back for an evening service at church. So
Yeah,
it's
I've
a good.
got replay options for the tour. That's my only saving grace when it comes to Sundays.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's gonna be a fun event. I'm excited to watch it and see the text thread that we have go crazy. I will say
Multiple
Mr.
text
Decker
threads.
is missing out because he's on the way back from the airport after a couple of fun days at Landman with some friends. So he had a good time. I guess he's got a decent enough reason not to be here. And then Mr. Kirsch, we were thinking of him and his family with the stuff they got going on. He's on a date night with his wife, a well-deserved one of those. So
Absolutely.
Kirsch, we miss you. And yeah, maybe we'll catch you guys on the recap show as we talk about one of my predictions that has won this thing. So, Jonathan, any final comments?
No, I mean, it's a good time of year, sorta hot summer days to stay inside, catch an early some early golf, still have a chance if you decide, at least in the Southeast, to brave the summer sun and try to skip thunderstorms in between, maybe a late round of golf, but
I
yeah,
can
this
I'll take the heat. The storms are what, kind of drive me crazy because you feel like, you can't go out there because something's going to pop up and just cancel everything. At least in the heat, like just drink enough water, throwing sunscreen, you can survive. And the courses probably aren't going to be that busy because others won't do that. So, but yeah,
I've
you throw storms in there, and then it's like, do you even want to go start knowing that,
right, right.
30 minutes in, a storm could pop up and chase you away? So anyway,
Here's my closing thought. How many times are we going to hear? I don't think it's gonna be bad winds. Do you think the weather catches up, and how many times do we hear they have to account for the wind when they're putting? Or do you think it's just gonna be the course and not the weather this year?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at their weather forecast. It
Just say
always
no
seems,
rain, mild winds, like, it doesn't sound like it's gonna be too difficult, other
yeah,
than, like you mentioned earlier, the course browning out early.
yeah. I don't know. It'll be fun to watch. What do you think the score will be when they're all done?
I think somewhere around 10 under wins it. I don't
Yeah,
think it's gonna be I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of 3 woods instead of drivers hit. People are gonna bring in their accuracy, really make that adjustment,
a lot of
and,
2 iron stingers.
2 iron stingers. Yeah, I really do. I think, like, that's gonna be it. Hitting the fairways, and I think 10 under I don't know, I think 10 under is probably gonna be able to seal the deal.
Yeah,
So
that's probably a good number. I would love to see it lower, not lower as in like 12, 15 under. I'd love to see
right,
it
right, right, like, closer to
closer to
5 or
par.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So anyway, it'll be fun. Grab some coffee. You got to start drinking coffee so you can enjoy
I
the
do.
sun.
I keep
Get
thinking
your
I
big
need to start
Dr
drinking.
Pepper, cup of water, and
No.
on the couch and enjoy some Open Championship. And we will come back with a recap show on Sunday sometime. So, well,
Sounds good.
for Kirsch and Decker who are not here, this has been Robbie and Jonathan with another Best Ball Roundtable talking about the Open. Y'all enjoy it.